almost verbatim exactly the same.
Amen.
And it is nothing in the Bible is put there just for entertainment or without a purpose. God repeated it. That's a serious indication that he's trying to say something that we need to be saying, heads up. Psalm 14 reads, "The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God." They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. The Lord looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand and seek God. They are all gone aside. They are all together become filthy. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. Have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread and call not upon the Lord? There were they in great fear. God is in the generation of the righteous. Ye have shamed the counsel of the poor, because the Lord is his refuge. Oh, that the salvation of Israel will come out of Zion, when the Lord bringeth back the captivity of his people. Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad. Flipping over to 53. The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. Corrupt are they, and have done abominable iniquity. There is none that doeth good. God looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand, that did seek God. Every one of them is gone back. They are altogether become filthy. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. I want to stop there. I simply read Psalm 53 to let you know how almost verbatim songs are similar to one another. This morning, focusing on that Psalm 14, we want to use for a subject, look what sin has done to us. Look what sin has done to us. It does not appear upon what occasion this psalm was penned, nor whether upon any particular occasion as David was inspired to do so. Some say David penned it when he was being persecuted by King Saul. Others believe that he penned it when he was being persecuted or being sought after to kill by his son Absalom. But they're mere conjectures, nothing proof positive that this was when David penned the song. But those are just some Bible scholar observations. The apostle, in quoting part of this song in Romans 3:10, quotes it to prove that Jews and Gentiles are all under sin. There's none righteous. No, not one. All the world is guilty before God.
Yes.
And lead us to understand it know for a fact that there's no need in you pointing your finger at me. Because when you point your finger at me, you got 4 pointing back at you. And lo and behold, God himself has said it. In all the Psalms, from the 3rd to this 14th Psalm, with the exception of Psalm 8, David had been complaining of those that hated and persecuted him, insulted him, and abused him. Now here he traces all those bitter streams to the fountain from whence it come, the fountain of sin, the general corruption of nature, and sees that not his enemy only, but all the children of men were just corrupt and sinful. All, he realizes that all has sinned and come short of the glory of God. Not only the Gentiles, the Jews, the red, the yellow, the black, the white, all had sinned. There was none righteous, no, not one. Look what sin has done to us. And because there was none righteous, here in Psalm 14 in the first verse, we have this charge against the wicked. For the wicked all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. And though all sinful, all are not necessarily wicked. There's some people in the world that are just outright corrupt and wicked to the extent that God says he's a fool. And God can say that, but he tells us that is a sin that we should not allow ourselves to be found guilty of, calling nobody a fool. But God who made us, when he calls you a fool, you're a fool. And so here he says, who's a fool? He says, anybody that says there is no God, Deacon Harris, he's a fool. They are corrupt and they have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. A person who says in his heart, Minister Campbell, that there is no God, there is no level to which he will not sink to. Because he believes that his existence, that his success is dependent upon the works of his own hands. And that the more that he overthrows other people, the more power he is gaining. In this passage, it insinuates that he gets joy out of taking advantage of other people. Not only does he get joy out of taking advantage of other people, but it strengthens him. He gets great joy and pleasure because he believed that there is no God. Yes. And even though he believes that there is no God, yet his actions show that he says there is no God, but his actions show that he really believes there is a God. Some of the things he do, he really wonders what the consequences of his actions are going to be. Some of the things that he do, especially as it relates to overthrowing and taking advantage of those who weep. When he lay down on his bed at night, he hear voices. When he lay down on his bed at night, he see those faces of those poor people that he has taken advantage of. When he lay down on his bed at night, he's mindful of all those tax cuts he made that that took advantage of the poor and gave more money to those who needed less. Because he says in his heart, there is no God. That I'm the one in charge.
Yes.
I'm the one that's got all control. But then he wakes up in the morning and he sees the sun come up. He wakes up and he goes through the day and he sees the seasons changes, and he's got to acknowledge that, Brother Campbell, there is something greater than he is.
Yeah.
But he tells himself there's something greater than he is that's making the sun rise. There's something greater than he is that's making the seasons change, but I don't have to be accountable to him.
Yeah. All right now.
I guess he says in the foolishness of his heart that he's just a man like me, and I don't know. I guess he says that I don't have to answer to him. Every man for himself, and God for us all. But the fool says in his heart that there is no God, and I don't have to answer for the wrong that I do. The only thing I have to answer for is I get caught doing what man says is wrong. Those in jail, I'm always mindful of the fact that those in jail are not there because they're any worse than we are, Deacon White. Those in jail are in there because they got caught. Yeah, it's real. They're there because they got caught. And if truth be told, if we got caught, we'd be there with them. There's some things that we've done, and so, preacher, what you talking about? Well, I got proof that there's some things that you've done, and it's right here in verses 2 and 3 that you've forgotten already. The Lord looked down.
Amen.
The Lord looked down from heaven upon the children of men. Why did he look down, my sisters and brothers? He looked down to see if there were any that did understand and seek God. And they were all gone aside. They are all together become filthy. And so if they're all gone aside, and if they all become filthy, there is none that doeth good, no, not one. So everybody got a reason why they ought to be in jail and ought to be locked up.
Amen.
Pastor Henderson.
Come on, Pastor. Come on.
Sister Henderson. What you talking about, Pastor? She say, I'm going to get you when you get home. Amen. Minister Campbell. All of us have done something that is not pleasing in the sight of God. All of us, to make it plain, have done something that's going to send you to hell. You might not go to jail, but you're going to hell. Because the wages of sin is death. And God said, the soul that sinneth shall die. And if God said it, you can believe it.
Yeah.
If God said it, it's going to happen. And so God has said that all have sinned and come short of the glory of God.
Yes.
But thank God that's not the end of the story.
Yes.
That is not the end of the story. He goes on to in the song to tell us about the seriousness of the charge. Say, all the workers of iniquity have no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread, and call not upon the Lord. They lay down at night and they think about who they can overthrow and who they can take advantage of the next day. yeah, so they want to work in the coal mine, huh? Amen. I'm gonna open up them coal mines. I won't let them work in the coal mines. Don't worry about that black lung disease. It's all right. Don't worry about the fact that there's cleaner ways of getting fuel. But if money is more important to you than your health, then I'm gonna let you have it. If that's that. The love of money. Love of money. It's the root of all evil. Because people love money, they sell drugs, don't they? Because they love money. Because of money, that woman had her son with cocaine in his backpack. Cocaine in his backpack, along with $12,000 of drug money. Elementary school boy. Money, drugs, and a gun. Why? Because she loved money. Didn't matter that she was taking advantage of people who were being crippled by the drugs. Didn't matter that she was putting her son's life in jeopardy and could be ruined for the rest of his life before he ever even started life. But she loved money. And was not putting